I'm Anita McCann, and I'm a life coach and counsellor through Bayridge. I work at their St. Catharines and Burlington offices. Clients often come feeling very confused and stressed over some situation or maybe crisis in their lives. They're feeling maybe unappreciated, unaccepted, having difficulty connecting with others, just going through some problems in their lives that they're confused about. And at the end of the process, they really want to have tools to help them to maybe make good decisions, how to get along better with people than maybe they have been, and just to feel appreciated generally and empowered to live life the way they want to live it on their terms. By asking a lot of questions. And generally, questions just help put people at ease. Often they're questions that they wouldn't necessarily ask themselves. So in that process, what we often find is they even learn things about themselves as they answer those questions. And that in itself can give them a lot of insight into their own situation and empower them to understand what it is they're feeling and what they need, what they're looking for. Oftentimes, whenever people come, they're coming from a place of hurt, of pain, of shame, of feeling unappreciated, unloved, unaccepted, and struggling with a sense of identity, of confused about how to move forward in life, how to make the best decisions for themselves. So what they really want is to be empowered, to feel confident about their decisions, to be able to move forward and have the tools to create the kind of relationships and life that they want to have. Problems only get worse if you don't attend to them. And I've worked with a lot of people. One client in particular I can think of that had my number in her purse for 3 years. But that was 3 years of not being able to connect with her family. So even though she was able to move on and reconcile a lot of relationships and things were better, I often think of that and feel sad for the time that people wait when they could get help, but they didn't reach out because of maybe some insecurities on their own part. And what I would say is just make that call, just take that first step, and don't worry about the rest of it. Don't worry about what comes next, because the likelihood, even in that first session, they will get the encouragement, they'll feel that bit of connection, and somebody will be there to kind of hold their hand through the next step and the next step. Never too late. It's never too late to get that help. It's never too late to get the tools that you need to turn things around. As long as we have breath, we have the ability to change our lives. About 20 years ago, I was going through some difficult situations in my own life, separation, divorce. I was 3,000 miles away from family, and it was a very confusing and stressful time. When people go through crisis in their lives, there are always so many decisions to make, but you're at your most powerless to make confident decisions at that time. And I actually went to see a counsellor, and it was life-changing for me. And I can't forget the difference that I felt even after that first session. And it's just this sense of clearing up that confusion. Having the ability, having the empowerment then, just because of that conversation where you can be completely open and honest with your feelings in a place of trust and security, where you know that you're being completely accepted for who you are in your situation that you're in without any judgment at all, and that person is invested in your well-being almost as much as you are, as much as it's possible for another human being to be so. A lot of the things that I learned in that time, even though it's 20 years ago, they still come up time after time, and I remember, wow, I learned that 20 years ago, so it's been serving me not just through that situation, but in many other situations. I recognize that the tools that I got at that time have helped me to prevent other problems. We can't prevent every problem, but we certainly can prevent many of the things that come into our lives. by having the right tools and information. My advice is to keep looking for the right person that can meet your needs at this time. Look for someone who has experience and specializes in the area that you're struggling the most. Look for someone that you can connect with, that you feel safe, that you feel validated, and because that trust is huge in kind of determining the outcomes that you'll have from that counselling. Even though it didn't work out in the past, doesn't mean that it can't in the future. The important thing is to keep going, keep looking.